All right. So, welcome to the third day of How to Buy a Hotel Challenge. Thank you. You've been with me for 3 days. So, the first night we talked about having an empire mindset. The second day Tommy actually talked about how to find and analyze a hotel. Tonight we're going to talk about how to buy a hotel internationally. And then tomorrow, probably one of the most important parts is how to use OPM or really financing, how to finance your deal. All right. So for those who don't know who I am, if this is your first night with us, welcome. My name is Davonne Reaves, also known as the Hotel Queen. Been in the industry for over 15 years. Started off as a front desk agent, navigated my way to hotel ownership. Have a book, How to Buy a Hotel, raised over $4 million in hotel deals, managed $1 billion in assets throughout my career. I had $30 million under assets after corporate, and to date, I've helped create over 200 Black hotel investors and owners get in the game. These are my 3 hotels. The first one I acquired was a Home2 Suites, 8.3 million in El Reno, Oklahoma. The Staybrook Suites and the Hampton Inn and Suites just sold those for about $22 million. And we bought it for 17.8, sold it for 22. So super excited. We're about to send the distributions over to our investors, so they'll get their full return, their principal plus the return earlier than expected. They was actually supposed to get it next year, but we were able to sell it earlier. Though these are my brands: Davonne Group, Stay Black Experience, which is the directory of Black-owned hotels; Vestor, which is my crowdfunding platform; Investor Academy. All right, so I didn't inherit the playbook. I built it, and now guess what? I'm handing it to you all. I've been featured in just about everything with the exception of Essence. I've been selected and honored as Georgia State University 40 Under 40, ISHC Emerging Leader, Top 100 Influential Hospitality Leaders, just to name a few. So not bragging, just letting you know that you're in good hands. All right, so day 2. All right, well, really not day 2, day 3. Access to fast, so why international? Access to fast-growing tourism, lower acquisition costs in emerging countries, stronger returns in some regions, diversification across currencies and economies, land ownership, and development opportunities. All right, so how to find international hotel opportunities. Last night, Tommy walked you through how to find hotels. That was mostly domestically. There's not really an MLS for hotels. There's not, I know we have a lender on the line in residential, so you understand that process. But for commercial, there's not an MLS for commercial. It's like you have to use like LoopNet, Crexi, or 10X. International is a little different. You know, you have to, there's demand, there's local laws, there's, financing options, and the taxes and the legal structure is different. So really it's word of mouth. Also building relationships with the local municipalities. And some hotels in countries, foreign countries, they actually just have a for sale sign. Like I was just in Belize, I was in Key Calker, I was walking around and it was like 2 hotels for sale. And it was like contact, whoever the person. So it can be, but I was, as I mentioned before the call started, I would um, start off with like a bed and breakfast or maybe a house or even a condo hotel just to start off internationally, just to get the lay of the land and to understand the localities. So this is a group of us. We actually went to Belize last year and we're in front of Bruce and Kamiko's hotel. That's a land development opportunity. So we're in front of their hotel. These are the people on the team that you'll need. Definitely a local real estate attorney, a bilingual broker or advisor, a development project manager, a CPA familiar with international taxes, a US-based asset manager. So those are the people that you need. Really, you want to find somebody local who really understands it. They understand the laws. They understand the municipalities. You want to understand somebody, work with someone who has experience with the government, because a lot of times when you're dealing with international countries and real estate is very political. So if you don't understand the lay of the land, they can, stop your deal. Yeah. I wouldn't go and thinking, well, this is how I do it in the States. Whatever it is, get it out your head because you're in a different country, you're in their territory. So they got different rules, and some they just move however slow they want to move. hey, you on their time. So you just had to be respectful of that. Um, Another thing that I would do is I've noticed with working and building a team internationally, working with the real estate broker because they typically know everyone there who you need. So they'll help you along the way. Working with a hotel consultant who specializes in international development. So I have a friend who specializes in international development. So that helps having those people. We talked about prior to the call working with a brand. So a lot of times the brands, they have all the people that you need to help you along the way. They're not going to hold your hand, but they'll connect you with the people and you have to do the work from there. Meaning a lawyer, some countries they have financing available, some countries they don't. Right? So some of the things that you need to think about and questions that you need to ask. And depending on how you raise your capital, you probably would need a US based asset manager, US based and as well as an international base. So, what you need to vet a market again, broker connections in target markets, franchise representatives with global territories, working with tourism boards and economic development agencies, the U.S. Embassy, commercial services, travel market research tools, Smith Travel Research, HVS. That's a hotel valuation services, a big company to do hotel appraisals, Air DNA. So using those companies would help you understand the market that you're getting into. Um, and then just really just talking to the locals, right? They understand the market better than anybody. Um, you know, Working with, real estate brokers and just seeing if that market makes sense for you. Um, I typically don't like to go where everybody is going. Like everybody is talking about Dominican Republic right now. I feel like I see it all on my timeline. I don't see it as much, but I did see it a lot. And it's sometimes when you do that, it gets oversaturated. Um, Belize is probably coming next. It's not there yet. Like Tulum, it's a lot of activity. It's oversaturated, in my opinion, in Tulum and Cancun. So a lot of times people they go in fads. But if you're a true developer and you're a true investor, you don't go with the fad, you go with up and coming. So you can get it at a lower price. So some countries to look at, I will look at Colombia, I will look at Grenada. I will look at Turks and Caicos. They have, I think it's the North Turks and Caicos that they're doing a lot of development, not the current development now, like with the clear, but I forgot the name of the capital. There's a lot of development going over there, but really they're trying to bring more cruise ports. So really work with the different economic development agencies to see where they're focusing more on development, and that's where you need to go because a lot of times they have incentives and they have different programs to help you get in it. Um, Also, like I said before, it may not make sense for you to do a hotel. Maybe you should probably do like a condo hotel. So what's a condo hotel? I was just in Belize. The reason I keep bringing up Belize, I was just in Belize a couple weeks ago. So, and this is in other countries as well, not just Belize. So, Marriott, they had a residence, right? Residencies, Marriott residencies, where you could buy a condo in a Marriott hotel and um you're sharing the reservation systems with Marriott. So somebody's coming to Belize, want to stay in Ambergris Key, they go on Marriott.com. Guess what? Their hotel is going to pop up. Well, guess what? You can rent out your condo. Um, and but you're using Marriott's reservation systems, people they feel comfortable when it's a Marriott brand. And so that's why some people do condo hotels because, you know, you're paying for someone to worry about the cleaning and bringing guests to your hotel. So I would start off with that instead of developing a big, huge hotel. The Bird Dogs doing the hotel in Belize is a little different because they already own the land. They already own a whole bunch of land, and they're going to eventually move there. So their strategy is a little different. All right. So some of the mistakes to avoid, I would say not visiting the country or site in person. I think that's a huge mistake because you definitely want to see it. If you're buying it, if you're investing in it, I get You still want to have some type of proof because it's a lot of scam artists, especially internationally. I mean, it's scam artists everywhere, but really internationally. And they're like, oh, you're owning all this land in the Bahamas, and then kind of find out they don't own it, right? It's just a lease. So you want to be careful. Overlooking currency and tax implications. You definitely want to look at that. Again, you're in a different country. What's their currency? How it is, how does it impact the dollar? Because again, that'll impact your pro forma and the financing. One of the biggest thing, and we were talking about this before, failing to build the right team. And for example, you're working with someone who you're developing a hotel in the Bahamas, but they've never done a hotel in the Bahamas. Okay, so if you've never done a hotel in the Bahamas and they never done a hotel in the Bahamas, it's the blind leading the blind. It may not get anywhere. And y'all just gonna be throwing money out. So be really specific when you're building your team, like really specific questions. What deals, have you done? Have you generated profits? Those to get more questions, because even though they may have a lot of hotels in their portfolio, the hotel may not be performing well. So, how is your hotel, performing, with building your team, meaning a management company. You know, if you're bringing a management company to operate your hotel, do they operate hotels internationally? Are they locally? Because that's a big part, because are they going to be able to drive business? Are they going to be able to clean? Because you're in a different country. Also, how often can you visit the property? So those are things that you want to think about. Not understanding the political or legal climate, underestimating the development timelines, which is huge. So those are the mistakes that if I were you, I would to avoid. So how you can start now. So just pick one country that aligns with your vision and values, right? Start doing research using online tourism. It's a lot of different countries that I mentioned. It's like over 100, like 180 something countries in the world. All of them you can develop. Pick one and work on one at a time. A lot of times people get so excited. I want to do this, I want to do that. Just focus on one country at a time. You definitely use your hotel success kit to run the numbers on the real deal. Send a dashboard link that I put in there. And definitely ask questions inside the group. You definitely don't have to do this alone. So some action steps. Choose a country that you're interested in. Remember, just one. Research the ADR, occupancy rates, and tourism growth. Find a hotel or a piece of land for sale. Run the numbers again using your success kit, and share what you found in the Facebook group. And then your homework. Identify one international market you want to explore. Find one real property or hotel deal in that market. Post a country or opportunity and insight you discovered inside the Facebook group. Again, we're a community. All right, tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to find the money. We focus on the mindset. We help you how to find a deal. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about finding the money. We're going to go live. Actually, we're going to go live at 6. We're going to go live an hour earlier tomorrow at 6 o'clock. So I'll definitely send a reminder. And there we go. For Q&A, I leave some time. I left a lot of time for Q&A. That was a brief presentation. All right, let me look in the chat. Oh, it says still working on goals, trying not to be thoughtful, but 300 is a lot, but it's good because it gets you to think outside the box, right? It allows you to stretch your mind. So that's the purpose of it. So I'm excited for you. So it says I'm a lot clearer on what I'm going for. I love it. I love it. The Caribbean coast of Costa Rica is definitely to look for. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of opportunity there. I was there last year, just finished a consulting assignment for a Black owned woman. Got to see the inside. Oh, nice. Is Belize in the Caribbean. Some people consider it's really, in my opinion, Central America, but some people say it's a part of the Caribbean, but I think it's Central America and not true Caribbean. When I think of Caribbean, I think of like Puerto Rico and Cuba and stuff. I don't think of Belize, because Belize is below Mexico and like next to Honduras and Guatemala, and that's Central America. So do we have any more questions?
I do. So,
Okay.
all right. So I'm St. Lucian, and my end goal is to end up there. Like I want to own, and I wouldn't mind even operating like a little eco lodge there. But where I'm at right now is, how do I get the capital to get there because I'm a citizen and everything. I can, go down there and buy property. But it's just about building up that capital and getting the right portfolio together to intrigue investors, I guess.
Well, we're having a whole session on that tomorrow about
Okay.
raising capital. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. So that's about tomorrow. All right. So yeah, I guess that's just my biggest
Yeah, we're
thing.
gonna have a whole yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. Hey, we have another question.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I was just curious. We can use these same strategies if we wanted to buy a motel as opposed to a hotel. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
So a motel is considered commercial real estate as well. Anything that's pretty much not residential or 4 units is pretty much commercial in my book. But it's the fundamentals of commercial real estate is the same. It's just the different specialties and the operating the business is what makes it different. So a motel is basically a smaller version of a hotel. And what I mean by smaller version of a hotel, a motel, it doesn't have that many rooms. You drive into it and it doesn't have a lot of amenities, but the steps are pretty much the same.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, I think we had another question. We got two hands. Was that answered?
Devon, you said that when we do our homework, we need to post it in the group. So you're talking about the next level.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, we
Okay.
would love that. I would love for you to post it. Yeah, we have some folks who've been posting. It just helps the conversation, and we have other folks in the group that'll help along the way.
Okay. We I think applied last night, so we're pending. But once we get in, we'll definitely definitely
We'll
jump.
get you in there.
Okay, thank you.
I'm excited that you joined. I'm excited.
I
I
have
get
a question, Davonne. I know you showed us the group of people we need to have on our team for tonight for internationally. Would domestic look the same?
yes, it's pretty much the same.
Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you.
And the Facebook group, it should be on the dashboard too.
Okay.
Let me get you the link. It should be in the dashboard. I will get it in there. But yeah, it's pretty much when you building your team, you really need an attorney. And I would start off with a consultant. If it's your first deal, which is a lot of it, I would just start with a consultant and in that consultant, you can be like, how many deals have you closed on? It should be, and if you're working with a consultant, it should be like more than 4 or 5 deals. It shouldn't be just one because they got lucky and they was learning along the way. The second deal, they still kind of learning. So like 5, I would say at least like 5 deals, that they've closed on. Because they've been through stuff. Like Tommy, he's worked on I don't know how many hotels. I've worked on I don't know how many hotels. So it's like you kind of seen, a lot of stuff, right? To avoid the mistakes. Because really a consultant is they went through a lot of mistakes to help you along the way so you can avoid it, right? Because they've done so many deals. And so I would start with a consultant because they'll help you find a lawyer, they'll help you find a management team, they'll help you. And then also if you're developing a hotel, do you want a hotel brand or do you want it to be independent? So it's a lot of things. And from a strategy standpoint, what do you want to do? And that's what a consultant can help you with. It's some good questions.
What's the cost to have your phone number and on dial like 911?
Oh goodness.
That's a straight shooting question, right?
Hey.
Oh, it costs now. What's the
Oh
cost?
yeah, you know it costs. Nah, it's I send you the link. Let me
Okay.
see. I'll send you the link. Who's that? Yeah, I have what is called the uh inner circle where
Okay.
folks they we walk through, go through deals. Um we went to Belize earlier. We're going to Colombia next year. So it's just more of a community and folks who I work with the most. The people I work with the most are the people in the inner circle I work with the most. Those are the folks who've been closing deals.
Have you ever seen someone like pull it like a wholesale, basically get it under contract and sell it? You ever seen that happen in the
It's hard for a hotel.
Mm.
And the reason why it's hard for a hotel because so let's say you contact me, I'm the owner, and you say, "Oh, I'm gonna help you find a buyer." I'm trying to get this hotel off my books. I'm talking to either I'm gonna call somebody in my network, I'm gonna talk to a broker. By the time you done bought a buyer, if you can even buy it, it's gonna be listed already. It's gonna be under contract. It's hard because they talking to so many people and they're not gonna put you under they're not gonna put you under contract.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then a buyer, and I wouldn't be going out there doing all this work if the hotel is not, and you're not going to be able to go under contract. It's because they rather just work with a broker. And a lot of times, so the majority of the hotels are owned by Indian.
Yeah, for facts. This one I'm at the hotel now, by the way. But yeah.
RD raising his hand, right? And so the majority of the hotels are owned by Indian. So why would I pay you a wholesaler when I could just call him my uncle and be like, hey, you want to buy this hotel?
That's true.
So that's why I say I don't even deal with her. And I get so many, they calm down because I had to put like a PS. I don't deal with wholesalers because you can't. And a lot of times I've seen it where wholesalers, they try to wholesale me a deal that is on LoopNet. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? So like, I wouldn't even, I wouldn't, don't waste your time trying to wholesale. It's not worth it.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you? So the 3 deals you have, you found them through brokers or they were off market deals?
Brokers. And a lot of times people think off-market deals are better, and sometimes they're not better because off-market deals, they'll probably sell it at like the highest amount they think they can get. Nobody can
Right.
buy it. So then by the time it goes on market, they done dropped the price like probably about like $1 million, something like that, because they couldn't sell it off market. So I think people, they get excited when they hear off market. They're like, ooh, it's not, nah.
Is there a Reno deal on the market?
Yeah, it's on the market. Why you trying to buy it?
I looked at it.
Yeah, it's on the market.
You selling at a low cap rate or high?
What, this one? Yeah, more of probably a mid cap rate with the El Reno. Yeah, the oil, we're waiting for, because that market, it depends on the oil. And so
Right.
when the oil prices go up, the hotel does well. And so, and then it's about to be PIP time. So which stands for Property Improvement Plan. So we got another one that says, if you're looking for properties over in Thailand or Bali, check out betterplace.cc. We got another one that said, I want to start from here and grow the international markets. Okay, with your hotel queen. Okay, Hardy, you so sweet.
It was built in 2017.
It opened in 2017.
That's it.
Yeah, it opened in 2000. We bought it in 2020. We bought it during COVID. And
It
then
was a small pip.
no, it's not a small pit.
What's that? Well, the pip listed, the broker put 850,000 for the pips.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not
What?
small.
I thought we could talk offline on this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not.
I do have a quick question for you.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about auctions as far as auctions in hotels? Do you kind of stay away from them? Is that something that you usually
What do
look
you mean options?
for?
You mean like stock options?
No, auctions, like they're
Oh,
auctioning
auctions.
auctions, yes.
The thing with auctions and hotels, you have to pay cash. And then when you do hotel auctions, like if it's a hole in the roof, it's a hole in the roof. Like they're not gonna fix it. Like by the time the hotel made it to the auction, they done everything they could to try to sell that hotel. Nobody wanted it. So it just it is what it is.
Got you.
Yeah, you gotta and you gotta show the cash to participate in the auction. So sometimes those are harder and you don't know what you're getting. Like you don't, I mean, you can expect the property if you want to, but which I recommend, but they're not gonna fix it. Like you can't say, oh my gosh, it's mold, you gotta fix it. They're gonna be like, well, you're gonna have to find a remediation company. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't look at an auction for first-time hotel owners. Because it moves so fast and you trying to understand how to buy a hotel, and it just auctions moves really fast. Well, these are good questions. Any more questions?
You never did send the link to the this mentor information.
Oh, I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
I got one.
Okay.
This isn't like get married to one property industry, right? Like say you get in one, yeah, like let's just say 5 million, and I mean I'm just throwing a different number out.
Wait, say it again. Hold on. Wait, let
So
me.
somebody was calling me, it knocked me out.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
can you hear me?
Okay. So what were you saying?
Like say you buy a hotel like at 5 million and you know it appreciates in like 2 years, like you guys were saying, like maybe let's just say 9 million. Are you looking to go ahead and move on from there, take the profit and get another one? Or, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to stay married to a property, you know, just because this is my first hotel. It's a business you want to keep going and growing.
Okay, that's a good question. That's a really good question because it depends on your strategy, right? And everybody's strategy is different. You may want to buy the hotel so your children gonna always have a place to live, and your cousins gonna always have a job. So you gonna keep it forever, right? That's just some people. It's some people they don't sell hotels, they keeping it forever. Like they grandchildren gonna be working in the hotel, right?
Right.
So if you coming in like, hey, I want to buy a hotel and I want to keep it for 5 years, then that's your strategy, right? So you want to buy some strategies can be you buy a hotel, it's a value add opportunity, and you come in and fix it up and you sell it in 5 years. All right.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, you know, coming into the industry, like, I mean, I don't have $3 million, so of course it's gonna have to be like, you know, finance, crowdsource, or however you want to do it. But you know, if you could sell it at a profit and walk away a millionaire liquid, and then you know, kind of now I could get back in the game, you know, without, you know, like I'm not gonna say overhead, but you know, without the, you know, like you're growing now, you're a millionaire, so now you know you probably got better, you know, opportunities.
So wait, so what's your question? You trying to figure out what's the best place to start?
No, I was just saying like this isn't the kind of industry that you know you like you said some people get them and they want to hold them forever, but as a business strategy, you know you kind of want to grow, you know, get better hotels and you know
I
make more
mean,
money.
you can grow with holding the hotel.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So that's why I say it always starts off with your strategy. So let's say you buy a hotel and you want your cousin, like you always want to keep this hotel and you just always want to keep it in your portfolio because this hotel makes money. It doesn't make sense to sell it, right?
Right. Right.
You get it, you pay it off, or you build enough equity in it, you take the equity out of that hotel, and then you buy another hotel and you still hold on to it. You ever heard of the Burr method?
No, I get it, but I just know, like I said, just looking at a standpoint of just getting into it, I know I couldn't go in and you know buy a hotel on my own, so I know I would have to have
Oh,
people.
nobody buys a hotel. I've never seen anybody buy a hotel on their own. I've seen billionaires partner with people.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't feel like, hey, I got it. Don't even think that even if you meet people and they act like they the only hotel owner, if you check that cap table, they not the only person on that. And what the cap table mean is capitalization table, just basically all the investors on the deal. So
Right. Okay.
yeah, so don't feel like, oh, I don't even come in with that attitude. I've seen plenty of hotel deals and with billionaires and billion dollar companies, and it was always multiple people. I've yet to see where it was just one person ever to this day.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Mm.
These are some good questions. Any more? And I put for the folks that asked for the mentor, I put it in the chat.
I wasn't here the last 2 days. I don't know if this question was asked, but was just curious to know, like, what are some up and coming areas that people should be looking in as far as different cities that kind of have just like the highest return on investment as we're looking for different hotels.
I see where you're going. It's not like residential. I wouldn't think about it that way. I
Okay.
would think about it because I would look at, where do you live?
In Atlanta.
You live in Atlanta. So Atlanta's expensive to buy a hotel.
Yep.
All the big boys, Noble, but don't even. I
Right.
don't even look in Atlanta because it's for what? It's just too expensive. And you
Exactly.
got people that can buy in cash.
Right.
But you can go to places like Douglasville. You can go to places like Americus.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be in Atlanta. It could be out. And the thing is, you go where people are going to what's needed in that particular market,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for instance, let's say you find something in Duluth or, Peachtree Corners, somebody's here from Peachtree Corners, and it could be a hotel opportunity. When FIFA come, it's probably people gonna be staying all the way up there, right? Because it's going to be so many hotels that's needed. So you go by what's needed in that particular market. I wouldn't, and also I would go by what's close to you. Instead of like searching the country to see which, especially on your first deal. And if it's just a small hotel group, now if you're a REIT, it's different. It's different, or like a big like private equity firm, it's different because you have certain markets. But for you, I would go to tertiary markets or like second or third markets, and that means like Americas. Even Macon is starting to boom. It's starting to get a little pricey there in Macon because a lot of people are going to Macon. Look at Columbus if you're trying to stay in Georgia. It's a lot of activity in Birmingham. It's a lot of activity in Augusta, especially with the Masters coming there every year. I would definitely look in Augusta. South Carolina is good. North Carolina, anywhere along the East Coast is good. North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina, Florida. It's a lot of people going with Florida, and then also the insurance because they have a lot of hurricanes, so sometimes it can be a little pricey. But Texas, I would try to stay within like a 2-hour flight, so that way if you have to like go, check on the hotel, for instance. It was at one point when we first bought our hotels, we had to, let go the management company, and we want to start our own management company. And I was gonna pick a hotel, and we had to check, I was gonna have to be checking in guests. Because we didn't have anybody, to run it, right? Because we were gonna be doing it ourselves until we get our team together. So those are some of the things that you have to think about. Like, I wouldn't buy something in Hawaii because if something happens and you need to check on a hotel, that's an 8-9 hour flight. That's those are the things that I would be thinking about as opposed to what are the hot markets. I would be thinking about what's close to you, so that way you can get to it and check on it.
How do you feel about Alpharetta?
If you can get in it, that's an expensive market too.
Okay.
I would go where it's like less than $5 to $7 million.
Okay.
That's where I would start with the price.
Price. Okay. Thank you. I needed that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I wouldn't worry about
the
I would
area.
focus. So when you're doing your buy box, that's what Tommy mentioned last night. the price,
The price.
right? What's
Gotcha.
the price? The market, I would say less than really less than 5 million. So that way you can get an SBA loan.
Yeah.
And another reason why I say less than 5 million, because you're going to need 20 to 30% down on the hotel. And so if you're buying a hotel that's like $5 million, you probably gonna have to have access to $1 million. So if you don't have access to $1 million, your circle don't have access to $1 million, you can't raise $1 million, then don't look at the hotel. That's how you determine what you can do. If you can't do it, so let's say it's $3 million. Okay, that's about 600,000. That's probably a little bit more doable for you. That's your budget. All right. Also talking to a lender to see what you can get approved for too will help, just like you buying a house. Real estate is real estate. The fundamentals are the same. So don't overcomplicate it. If you're a real estate investor, kind of use that same buy box that you would use for residential. It's a little different because of the business side of it. And it's a franchise, but the fundamentals are still the same. When you're going to buy a house or real estate property for investments, you're looking at the price, you're looking at you at certain locations that you want to get into, if it's close to you. So those are the things that you need to be thinking about from a buy box perspective for a hotel. Okay, so Michael, you have a question?
You answered it. That's all right.
Okay,
You
sorry.
answered it.
I thought it was raised. Okay. Okay. Any more questions?
I guess I'm gonna need to mentor your mentorship because I mean I got a lot of questions. Like VA loans and this kind of real estate, it wouldn't make a difference, would it?
There's not VA loans for hotels, but
Yeah, that's what I was
they're USDA loans. That's probably the closest, maybe the USDA loans and SBA loans. The SBA 7A, that's one where it's less than 5 million. That's probably the closest thing you're gonna get. It's not really. I don't do VA. Do they even do loans for commercial? I thought it was just residential.
It's just
thinking.
residential. I looked into it,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, so
but I'm a use my VA home loan to flip it to order to go into hotel buying with you.
okay. To do residential and flip it. Got it.
Yep, flip it.
Okay. These are some good questions. Yeah, I think the biggest thing and I notice a lot of times because hotel is new, so we overcomplicate it, right? So how many people have bought a house or they have some type of real estate investment property?
Me.
Right.
Yeah.
So what did you do? You looked at the property, you had to get a pre-approval, right? Because the real estate agent or broker, they was like, we ain't dealing with you unless you got a pre-approval, right?
Right.
Got pre-approval, you did your due diligence, you submitted an offer, right? After you submitted an offer, if the seller accepted, then that's when you went into the due diligence. That's when you went through the PSA, which is the purchase sale agreement, right? So then you going through the due diligence, getting the inspection report. So that part is pretty much the same, except it's more expensive. But the due diligence is a little. So you're underwriting the deal, meaning you're working with the brands. And then you have to get approved by the franchise, by the brand, right? So that's probably the biggest thing is working with the brands and so that way you can get approved and raising capital, working with the lender. So you're doing all of these things. So that's why a lot of times people partner or they just hire somebody to do all the work because it's just a lot of moving parts and you have to do it really fast.
You talk about the brand, right? And you kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, whether you want to go independent or stay with the brand. I would love to kind of just get your thoughts on, what's best, or does it work? Or it kind of goes back to also what you said too. It just depends on what your goal is, right? So yeah, I would love to kind of just hear, what your thoughts are around that.
That's a good question. So it's easier. The biggest thing goes down to money, right? It's easier to get a loan for a franchise. And the reason why, because you're asking a lender who don't know you, you don't have any experience, and you like, hey, go ahead and give me $7 million for something I never done before. But then on top of that, I'm gonna make my own brand. That's not proven before, but I want you to give me $7 million. So what do you think the lender gonna say?
No.
No.
Hell no.
But if you say, hey, guess what? I'm buying this hotel. It's an existing hotel. I just need to add a little TLC, I need a PIP, but I got a Hilton flag on it. They're probably going to be more than likely to loan you the money, because they know that Hilton, they're going to get their money back. So I recommend for people who want to start their own brand, either start with a franchise first and then do your own brand. Also, brands, they have what you call soft brands, like Autograph Collection. I think we were talking about that yesterday. Somebody was asking about the Coley and Buckhead in Atlanta. That's an Autograph Collection. The Curio is Hilton. Autograph Collection is Marriott. So basically, it's an independent and a branded hotel that got married. That's pretty much what it is. Or you can even buy a lot of people, what they're doing now, especially like in New Orleans. New Orleans is a good market for independent hotels because they just need hotels. So that's the market somebody was asking about, New Orleans, because they need hotels. You can like buy a multifamily and convert it into a hotel. You can buy like a 10 unit and convert it into a boutique hotel, right? So those are some of the different things that you can do to get into that space. And then you can work with a local bank that'll help you get the loan for that. Does that help?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that
Okay.
helps. Can I piggyback off his question?
Yeah.
Okay, because I stayed at a autograph a hotel in New Orleans called the Saint, and I thought it was just a locally owned hotel, but I see that it has the autograph collection on it, so it is attached to Marriott. So
Mhm.
yeah, like you said, you first starting out, you definitely want to buy with the brand. And then maybe if it does good, then you can move on to like a signature collection. You don't want to start out trying to do a signature collection, right?
Um, I would start off with the friend. If you're trying to buy a hotel and you're trying to build a portfolio, going back to the strategy, I would start off with a franchise, because that way they already have systems in place because it's a franchise, and that way you can understand the business. A lot of times people, when you start your own brand, you don't know what you're doing. Well, you don't know what you're doing anyway if you're buying a hotel,
Right.
but at least if you got the systems in place. So
It's an umbrella.
yeah, and then you can grow. And really, I wouldn't even start with anything fancy. I would get like a Motel 6. I would get a Red Roof Inn. I would get an Econo Lodge. I would get a motel. Those are the hotels that I would start off with. Like, I would definitely start off with those hotels. Though they may not be in the best areas, you know.
I was gonna say
Um,
that's in the hood, but keep going.
some of them, there's some nice Motel 6s now. Okay, I didn't see the new design. I'm like, okay, Motel 6 trying to come up. Red Roof Inn trying to come up too. So don't be sleeping on them with the new ones now. I don't know about the older ones. Some of them are in decent areas. Some of them are rural areas, right? Like on a highway and stuff. So the reason why I say they're good to start off with, because those are what you call economy hotels. So economy hotels are hotels with very minimal amenities. It's like bareback, like you get in the bed and the shower, that's it, and the toilet. That's all you getting. You ain't getting anything else. You ain't getting breakfast. It's bare, like it's just really the bare necessities, right? But from an ownership standpoint, since it's not a lot of amenities, it's more money coming down to the bottom line from a cash flow perspective. So I think that's a good starting point from people who are coming from the residential space and or multifamily space, and they're looking for cash flow. I think looking at extended stay and economy is a good place to start off with, because those are cash flowing, producing assets in the hotel market. So both Michael and Marcus, y'all both have your hands raised.
Yeah. Do you have any like any way we can invest with you maybe?
I don't have any deals at the moment. There's some deals on Vestor. On Vestor.com, I could put it in there because I just sold my hotels.
Okay.
Unless you want to invest in Vestor itself, that's the only investment opportunity I have right now.
I understand.
Yeah, but you can go to Vestor.com and some deals that you can invest in. And also, I would start off as a passive investor too. You know, that's how my first investors in my hotel in Oklahoma, now they own a second hotel. They started off as a passive investor, and now they're on there. It was easier for them to get a loan. You know, they asked me all these questions. It was just a lot easier. So that could be a good pathway too, is to invest passively.
What do you mean by that, passive investment?
Passive investing mean that you're investing in a hotel, like you was asking about investing with me. So let's say, you know, I had a hotel and I was like, hey, I'm looking to raise capital for, you know, if you want to become an equity partner, then you would invest. So that is what you consider passive investing, because you're not doing all the work, you're not guaranteeing a loan. And so that's what you would consider passive investing. You're
Okay.
an equity partner, but you just don't have any voting rights.
I understand.
How would you present that deal in that way? Obviously asking for equity partners to structure it.
That's for tomorrow.
That would be the way to go, right?
Tomorrow. We're gonna talk about it all day. We're gonna talk at 6, not at 7, no, at 6.
At 6? Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about how to structure it. Everything is pretty much OPM. The bank, business credit, all of that is OPM.
What's like in the ballpark of being a passive investor?
It depends on the deal. Like some deals on Vestor was like $10,000. Some of them is like 25,000. You know, some of it just depends on the deal. Some of them 50,000, some of them 100,000, some of them even $1 million. So it just depends on the deal.
Hey, good evening. I just had a quick question. I remember you earlier this session, you were mentioning a couple who I think they already own hotels in Belize or a hotel in Belize.
Oh, the Burdine. They own the land and they're developing the hotel.
Okay. Are they in the Facebook group?
They should be, yeah. They sometimes they comment. They just had a baby, so they probably been slow on comment. But yeah, they in the Facebook group.
Okay, I'll be joining because I'm very interested, or I thought I was interested in building or owning a hotel in Costa Rica. But as I stated in the comments, I've had the opportunity to be able to consult with the hotel because I have over almost 20 years of hotel management experience. And, you know, it's my first time actually working with the hotel internationally. And so I'm thinking that, you know, going through that experience, a lot of the things, like especially labor laws and like how much they pay their employees and things don't really align with my values. Like I love to pay my people well, and I love
to take care of them so they can take care of you. Absolutely.
Yeah, but then it's not interesting because as I was talking to a lot of the, the people in the hotel industry down there, if I were to come in and start paying people, let's just even say 25%, 30% more than
that's dangerous. Wouldn't it be dangerous?
It's really dangerous. So it's really interesting.
Dangerous for you, what I mean.
Well, no, I know. It's dangerous for me, but it's also dangerous for the economy, because that means that, other hotels are going to be forced to raise it just becomes a whole mess. So I was wanting to talk to the other couple because, I guess, I'm like I said, I don't want to come in and disrupt what they have going on in Costa Rica, but I also want to look to see what other places may be in alignment with, like, just the values that I have and how I want to operate business.
I think, and this is a question you can ask them. I think a lot of stuff they're doing is automated too. So it's something to think about. I know sometimes it's spotty, you know, depending on where you are, the internet is spotty, but I know a lot of people they're going into like
self check-ins and okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
so that's just something to kind of think about with like the staffing and stuff.
staffing, right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
That's a good question. Thank you. Well, we're about to we're at 8. I don't want to hold y'all too much. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Probably be, like I said, 6 o'clock. So sorry it's an hour earlier. We had a change in schedule. But and then tomorrow, so make sure you bring y'all questions about the most important part, which is money, because you can't do a deal without the money, and they won't talk to you without money. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. How would you become an equity partner with you? Oh yeah, we talk about it tomorrow. Yeah. Like I said, the only deal I have is Vester. So the only thing I have. I don't have anything else. But I appreciate you all so much for tuning in. I hope that you learned a lot. You asked so many great questions, and be on the lookout for the replay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.